So, with the complete iOS developer course, you get more than just how to program in Swift. I've just shown you the process of how to submit your app to the App Store. And in this last chapter, I'm going to show you how to make a great looking website to accompany the launch of your app. Every great app needs a website, and this is a free theme which will allow you to set up your website with almost zero coding. We're going to be using a content management system called WordPress, which allows you to manage your website without having to go to the code. And I'm going to show you how to set that up and how to add your content. Now, there are lots of other themes that you can use. This one is perhaps a little bit limited. It's the best one I could find for free, so that's why I'm using it. But you're very welcome to have a search. You can also look in the document at the end of this chapter, which has a link to a number of different themes. If you really want to take your website to the next level, then check out my complete web developer course, and that has a whole chapter on WordPress and the X theme, which is a great looking theme. It costs $60 or so, but it can be used for pretty much any website, and I think that's a great start to making a brilliant website. But this will do, I think, and a lot of the principles that we see in creating this particular website will work with any theme and with WordPress in general. So let's get started. If you have a web hosting account already, or you're using your local computer, that's absolutely fine. But if not, then you get 12 months free Eco web hosting with the course, so you might as well use that. Hopefully you followed along in the video at the beginning of the course and created your account. If you didn't, then now's the time to do that, and you can do that at ecowebhosting.co.uk/cp/iOS course. So create your account there. If you created your account a while ago, then you can use ecowebhosting.co.uk/cp/reset password to give you a password reset link if you can't remember what you put. So hopefully by now you've got an account which you can remember the password to. So go to, you don't actually need that last bit, go to ecowebhosting.co.uk/add domains. And then you can enter your email address and your password. And with any luck, that will log you in. And then enter your domain name. Now, this can, in theory, be any domain name, but it has to be one that's not already on our systems. So I would recommend putting in a reasonably lengthy domain name so that you're not clashing with anything that is already on our systems. If I use google.com, for example, then it will try and create that, but that will already be on our systems because someone will have added a reference to it. So that won't work. So you need to have a domain name which is not already on our systems, otherwise you'll get that error. Now, you don't need to own that domain name. If you do, you can use an actual domain name, or if you want to purchase a domain name, then you can do that with any company, or you can do it with us if you like. I don't mind. Either way will work. So let's just try myfabapp.com. So I'll give that a try. With any luck, no one will have already set this up on our systems. Great. There we go. So you can see that it's been set up correctly, and you'll have a welcome email with all the login details and everything that you'll need. So the creation of a new hosting package does take about an hour to set up. So now is a great time to go get yourself a cup of coffee and come back in an hour's time. Done that? Okay. Great. So now we can go over to view hosting passwords. And it's likely that your password won't be displayed there, but you can click on the domain name and that will log you in to your control panel. And the control panel is where you can set everything up for your hosting, including uploading your files or, importantly for us, setting up WordPress. So here we are. Here's our control panel. Your one should look pretty much exactly like that. I'm not going to go into great detail of what all of these things do. You can work out most of them. Obviously, you've got a file manager here. You've got all your email, and you can use all of this for 12 months. It's all completely included with the course. I'm not going to go into detail of what FTP is. If you want to know all about this kind of thing, then take my complete web developer course. But the bit that we're particularly interested in here is the WordPress blog. So I'm going to click on that. The WordPress blog can be installed in a subfolder, but I'm just going to install it into the root folder or the public HTML folder, which will allow me to access it from here. You'll notice we've got two addresses here. You can only use this first one if you've actually purchased the domain name and then linked it to the hosting here. If you haven't purchased the domain name, then you'll need to use that. So this second one is absolutely fine for testing and developing, but if you want to actually have a real app website out there, then you probably want to buy the domain name because this doesn't look great. But I don't need to change any of the settings here, so I'm just going to click Install Now. And it can take a few moments, but there we go. So that's now all set up. And now I'm going to click on this one. Neither of those ones will work, or at least they'll take me to whatever the real website is for my Fab app. So I'm going to click on this temporary one here to allow me to complete the WordPress installation. Okay. So as I mentioned, WordPress is a content management system. It allows you to manage the content on your website. So I don't want to have lots of different websites. I just want the one. So I'm going to click single there. Okay, so let's continue with the theme. We'll call it My Fab App. And username, I'll put Rob Percival. You can put whatever you like. I'm going to have a very weak password indeed. And I'll put my email address in there. Obviously, choose a better password than I have. Okay, that's all been set up. So I can now just click log in, and then username Rob Percival and my very weak password. I'll click remember me so that I don't need to keep logging in every time I come back to it. Okay, now this is your WordPress dashboard. So this is where you'll be able to control your website and upload particular pages, work with images, do everything that you need to do with your website. WordPress is an extremely widely used content management system. There's a lot of support for it online, so it's a good system to learn if you do want to make your own website. So I'll end that video here, and in the next video we'll see how to install the app's WordPress theme.